Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of Planet Coaster. This time it's a special version of my Planet Coaster videos. I'm not building anything or giving you a time-lapse video. It's basically about all my ideas and suggestions for the final version of Planet Coaster, what I wish to have implemented into the game. Basically, I wanted to make this kind of video for a very long time, but I really was into building stuff, and this was way more fun than doing this video. But unfortunately, last weekend while playing soccer, I broke my right hand, so I'm a little bit out for building really detailed stuff. I've just changed my mouse settings to left-handed and tested a little bit around, but to be honest, there's no chance at all to go on with my projects at this time because it's way too complicated to do it with my left hand. It took hours and hours to build so small houses. You will see I did something here in the video. It's not that good, but anyway, let's jump into the video. I hope you can take out some of the ideas that I have and start right off a discussion about them, and well, let's see what you think of it. So first thing is an addition to the path system. You might have seen in many other videos that people started to cover up the pathways the borders of the pathways with like these stone bars or wooden patterns, or even those romantic stone structures like this. So basically the problem is that when you go into covering up with all these pieces, it's really performance heavy because you have to use all these small pieces and put them one after each other and copy it around multiple times, and really it's not that performance it's not really that good performance wise. So it would be great if we would have the chance to maintain the border of one path while changing the texture. So if I'm going into the path system here, you see when I'm going to change the path, it automatically changes the border as well. So it would be great if we just have one checkbox more here down here, where you can choose and not to change the border but just change the texture of the pathway. So we can decide which border we want to have to which texture of the path, and maybe we can add some more of these border types so that we don't have to use the custom scenery to build these kind of borders. Would be a great addition, also to save some performance. That would be great. So next thing is really down to performance in general. So I don't know who of you does know the Cry engine back to the year 2007 when Crysis was released. There was also the Cry engine, and the Cry engine introduced something that was called the Heightbox. Basically what a Heightbox does is like you align a Heightbox towards one shape. For example, this wall in the back here, it has got one Heightbox. Basically what it does is the following. If I put this one in front of the building, now the building behind this wall is like hidden, and your computer doesn't have to render it because, well, you don't see it, you know. At the moment in Planet Coaster, as far as I know, there is nothing like this, and everything in the park is rendered, no matter if you look at it or not. So the idea would be that you could align, for example, Heightboxes, or even better would be if the shapes itself got some Heightboxes. So basically, when you look at this wall, everything what is behind the wall shouldn't be rendered at all. If I'm moving around, so like this, then this part of the building here would be rendered. If I go even further, then the whole building would be rendered. If I'm going back, the building isn't rendered at all. So that would save a lot of performance when you're going to move in like this and just look at your facades you got, and it has to render way less pieces than if the whole park would be rendered in real time. So might be a good addition to save some performance. So yeah, that's it about the Heightboxing. The next part, pretty easy, let's jump quickly over it. It's a brush for foliage. So you can place one single tree, but it would be great just to have the possibility to go in scenery, just choose what you want to have, like the tree here, and then just hit the checkbox for a brush, choose the size of the brush, and then just paint your foliage around. Would be great and save a lot of time. Next one, pretty small thing. I'm pretty sure that they will implement something like this in the future time. It would be great to have custom custom signs. You see here this little girl from Planet Coaster, but it would be great if I just could click here, choose something like custom image, and then put in your own image, or just like draw on the signs, so you can just implement your own signs for your own coasters and so on. Would also be pretty nice for performance, because I've seen a lot of people just putting thousands of pieces together to have one logo, and that's also not the best thing for the performance. But we're still in alpha, so don't get me wrong, it's just an idea for the future time. The next one, a pretty important one for me, because in the real world you got support ways for your coaster. So it would be really great if you're in the well, not in the paused modus, but in the live modus, that you just could go to your coaster, hit the coaster, and then just say add another train, and it would be added in live time, so that from the support way one train is added to the coaster, and so you could just manage the length of the queue. So it would be a great addition if we could implement something like this. At the moment all we do is like fake it in a way like I did here, and that's not the way how it should work, because in general it doesn't work. It's just like for the scenery to have it. Next point, pretty obvious one, plazas. Would be great if the system could just somehow recognize this place here is just intended to be a plaza, and then remove these ugly little parts here. Would be great. Another thing, and I've put it is in the middle of the plaza here, is like a flower pot which I've built out of custom pieces. Would be great if somehow the peeps could recognize that this one got a physics. So would be also a great addition that they don't walk through it but just around it, because they do recognize, for example, that the floor parts down here got like a border, and then they can't walk through it, they have to walk around it. Would be great to give the game a little bit more depth, and would be a cool addition too. So let's move on to the next one, and that's basically this one. Here's again my little ugly house. Basically what I've done is just rotated the single pieces a little bit to create like this rounded facade here. The problem is now, if I want to move like the whole building here a little bit backwards to just, for example, put in another small pathway, the problem is that I have to choose each building at once. So it would be so great if we just have the possibility, for example, to select all of them at the same time. Like if I'm going here with the mouse, it doesn't do anything, but within one building it's pretty easy. If I just open the building, you see I can select like this. Would be also great if we could do this outside one building, just to select multiple objects, and then it would be even greater to have the possibility to join them into one building. Would be also great for sharing via blueprints in the later stage of the game. So this would be an absolutely amazing thing. The next point, it's basically, I have to hit play for a second. So basically it would be great if we got something like a wet texture below this water effect, because basically this is a water effect, I know, but for my taste it's kind of unlogic that here isn't well, water on the bottom, and it would be pretty easy to just align something like a decal to this water fountain system here, and once you hit play, the wet surface below will appear. Would be great also for the whole atmosphere of the game, and it would be a little bit more realistic, and I hope they can just implement something like this in future time. So yeah. The next one, it's basically again something regarding the building system, which is, don't get me wrong, absolutely amazing at the moment, and if it would rest like this, I'm absolutely satisfied with that. But as it is always in life, you can improve everywhere, and so this would be so great if so this is why I put these objects in here. You can rotate them on this angle, but you can also rotate them on this and on this angle. So on the X, Y, and Z angle, you can rotate them on every angle. What you can do with buildings, once they are fixed, you can't rotate them in any angle, you can just rotate them on the bottom part like this. So what would be amazing if I got the same possibilities here like we have in the building, just to hit X like this and then have got every rotation possibility. We don't have it at the moment, so unfortunately this is not working, but it would be great to just go in and to do some to do even crazier buildings in the future time with a rotation of the buildings. Maybe it's a little bit too much for the performance in the rendering system, maybe not. Just an idea, would be great if this could somehow be achieved. So yeah, the last thing which I've prepared here is something already for the management system or for the simulation part of the game. Well, if you place a restaurant in the game, at the moment it's kind of something to bring people together. If you just place a little restaurant, people will go there and you have got really a lot of people around the restaurants. So a nice thing would be if you got like an area around the restaurant that is really aligned to the restaurant. For example, if you place down some picnic tables like this, and they are within the area of one restaurant, people would recognize that these picnic tables do belong to this one. So you will have a lot of traffic within this area. People do use these picnic tables just to relax and sit down for a minute because they have grabbed something from this shop. If they move around outside of this building, well, they could just take their burgers away and just on the go, but it isn't aligned to this shop any longer. This would be a great thing just to manage a little bit the traffic in your park, so that you don't just like place like little shops everywhere just to get people there, but just manage it a little bit that they have to spend the area. And it would be also great to build some restaurants, for example, that you know, okay, this is my area where the restaurant is, and I can place as many seats and as many tables as I want, and the guest really will use these ones, and they are not just scenery. Would be a great addition, though I'm not sure if this is able to be implemented that easy. But yeah, would be a great thing for me. I don't know if you think the same, but it should be a great thing. So yeah, last part, and this is why I didn't. Okay. Oh wait, this one is an early stage of my save. I forgot to build another one, but it isn't a problem. So there are only some smaller things I wanted to talk about. Basically, the first thing is the time of day. It would be really amazing, and I haven't had the idea that I'm going to say this any time, but really this is something Rollercoaster Tycoon World absolutely nailed it, because you can just lock the time of day, which is a great addition, because from my taste I've just tested it in my Matrix coaster. If you have got the normal speed and just hit play and yeah, take the ride on your coaster, and my coaster is about 1 minute 50, you'll be able to just go for 6 rides a day until it gets night, and then the same thing at night and again. So it means that you just have only 6 times the ride is going around at one day, which is pretty much unrealistic. So it would be cool to lock just the time of day to enjoy a little bit the whole park itself. Yeah. Another thing would be the weather. I'm pretty sure they will implement weather, but it would be so great to have like yeah, time of day, of course, then weather, yeah, and maybe also seasons would be great, to have like winter time, to have like summertime, spring, autumn. So with different colors of the trees, for example. I know that's a little bit much really I don't know how to say. I know that's a lot of work to do, because everything needs for at least 3 phases and so on. But it would add so much more atmosphere to the game, and would be a great addition. Yeah. Everything else regarding the park management system and so on, I won't say too much to it, because I've got no idea what is going to be implemented in the future. We haven't seen anything of this yet. Also regarding the water, I've seen some screenshots, but well, I can't judge how good it is implemented or not. So maybe I'm going to do such a kind of video again when Alpha 3 is out. Hopefully just because I want to, and not because I broke my arm again. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video anyway, and I also hope that my voice recording software just worked fine this time. When I look to the left, it is running. We are at 15 minutes now, so enough for one video. Yeah, so I hope this will work. So have a nice day. Enjoy the sun if it is as sunny as it is in Germany now. And hear you then. Bye.